Is this thing on? Oh my goodness, it's doing a... I need to skip the trailer. There we go. What am I looking for? I think it's this. Or if it will load. Computer, please. Computer, please. What is that? Man, what do you guys think of the VHS playback effect? Is it too much on the short? Let's see if this works. Does that actually work? Surely that works. Surely I have that set up. Ooh, I'm out of coffee.
Country Fried Minis asked me, tell the people all about the pain of removing catalyst mold lines from their god-awful plastics. Also add some cat girls into the story somehow. Maybe something about legginess or having gigantic titties. Nah, I can't do the cat girl titty bit, but I can absolutely roast those cursed catalyst mold lines. To beat them off feels like fighting a tiny plastic tax audit with a butter knife. One wrong pass, and the scene just laughs
Did that
at
just
you. Those parts
did that
so
just
fiddly,
fucking
they make Friday
censor
look like a
scrape?
It sure did, didn't it?
Here, let's try that again.
Let's see if that works.
I should probably mute this mic, I think.
Country Fried Minis asked me, tell us about catgirl titties. Nah, I can't do sexual stuff like that, but I can absolutely talk about catgirls in the most harmless, chaotic way possible. Tiny ears, dramatic tail swishes, and enough attitude to power a Battletech chest. Also, meow, chat, behave yourselves, the void is watching.
AI Nate refuses to talk about AI or catgirl titties. I need to know about them titties though. Mic test, testing the mic. Is that one off over there? Yeah, it sure is. Blah, 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 blah. Latency test. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not too bad. About 5 seconds. Excellent. Hello, Raymond Combos Podcast. Hope you're doing well. Yes, indeed. Test the test, indeed. Welcome, Wicked Dragon. Welcome, Mr. Squareface. Welcome, Grim the Project. Ooh. I think that's my second set of ads in 5 minutes. Dude, I've got this set to medium. Alright, here we go, here we go. Let me try to modulate the tone of my voice and not shout into the microphone. Alright, let's pop on in the paint stream, see if everything's running. Camera should be coming on. It sure did. Where are you at? Ah, yes. Well, howdy, folks, and welcome. Let me swap headset. Kind of warm in here tonight, but not too bad. Welcome to another stream right here on Country Fried Meanies. I'm your host, Cameron, the country boy in the big city, presenting once more from the Bullshit Corner 2.0. And today, we're going to clean up some models. We're going to take it nice and easy, have a nice little relaxing stream. Probably go for about, I don't know, like 2 hours-ish. This is for a commission on Fiverr. That's right, I do commissions over on Fiverr. If you want your custom stuff done, check it out, fiverr.com/thurstonstudios. Welcome, Slake. Bibbidi bobbidi, I farted. I am a fan of farts. Yes, keep up the farts. Because it is important to remain in touch with the pee-pee poo-poo, the childhood humor. I think it's the secret to getting through this world without diving too far into existential dread. Anyhow, this set tonight is for another set of Haritan mechs. One of my previous clients picked up another order from me for more of those white Haritans with all the free handy stuff, the waves and the bamboo and the red splashes. So we're gonna get on those. I have kicked the can so far down the road on these that frankly it's offensive, but they've been super patient with me, more so than I deserve, and we're gonna put the attention to those as we need to. Those are due within 2 weeks, so hopefully we're gonna get these out within a week. We're gonna get back on the tiger sharks. I had a disaster with these tiger sharks, and these are the wrong mechs, so we actually have to roll this back, get more of those going. They will be picked back up very shortly. So we've got 3 projects right now floating. It's these Haritans, we've got the tiger sharks, and then we've got 20 camo vehicles, and I think we're going to do a video on that. And then I actually had someone come through wanting a Black Knight for Gen Con, so we're going to do that. And they also graciously paid the make a video surcharge, so the next video after the Blue Boys will be doing up a custom Black Knight. Holy moly, that's a lot of gambling. Let's see, Marauder 2C plus King Crab Nasty Combo. Yeah, it is Marauder 2C, King Crab, Hatamoto-Chi, Charger, Jenner. I think this is a Mauler. The client sent these models to me, including these Bombito prints. And then this is I think this is a Kentaro. And I was supposed to print off a catapult, but I forgot to do that. I'll have to do that overnight for our next round of working on these. Whoever this client bought from, I do want to point out, kind of jerk move, I think, to leave these on the supports, because when you cure your supports, it's going to lead to more fragility when you remove them, so that really sucks. But the flip side is whoever this printer is has insanely good prints. Really, really super crisp, very, very high quality prints. But they left them on the fucking supports. And I know that, like, I know big companies do that for, like, scale model parts. But when you're breaking off, like, if you're doing Bombito prints, man, we want these removable without all the scarring that's going to come. So tonight's agenda, we're going to pop these boys off their catalyst bases. We're going to clean those mold lines. We're going to get these guys popped off, and I'm also going to sneak in a little work on my own mechs for a game, upcoming game with Mr. Another Nate, where it's going to be Daddy and the boys getting chased by a swarm of bugs. So we'll dive into those as well. Yes, I love a mauler, actually. Slink, big fan. If you recall, I ran one in my my Crater Cobras. It was really, really fun. But anyhow, without further ado, hope everybody out there is doing great. I decided tonight we'd get to some more traditional Country Fry mini streams. Just dive in and do a little work and provide a space where you can pop in and chat in the chat instead of all the distractions of the fully loaded voice stream community hangouts. Though admittedly, I've been having a lot of fun with those, and I think what we're going to do is start working those in to be a regular occurrence, maybe a weekly show where we have people freely talk. Don't really know if we're going to do like a set schedule on those or not. So we will... that is soon to be figured out. However, we will be doing something fun this weekend if any of y'all want to get in on it. This Sunday, we're going to bring back Scale Model Sunday a little earlier. It's going to be 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so that would be 2 p.m. Eastern, where we will hang out and do hobby stuff. So folks are welcome to come in, and I should be able to get it set up where we can pop up what people are doing. Not really sure how that'll work on this machine, but it'd be a good place to come in and talk hobby, and maybe even an inspiration for you to get in and get work on your own hobby projects while hanging out with the Country Fry Minis community. So if you're not already on the Discord, come on by, say howdy, meet the folks, and post what you got going on. We want to see it. Excuse to buy nice snips is a tax break. Oh, dude, I actually need to get another pair of these snips. So I need a good pair of flush cutters as well. Like not God hand ones. Like I'm not going to spend that much on them, but I do want something along that line. But these ones have treated me so well. They're a little gunked up right now, but these are Bead Buddy nippers. And these were like $12, and I've had these for about 6 years of steady use now. So they're really, really good. Good reminder that I have nippers here to get in here and get these things busted up. Though, you know what? These are actually breaking off pretty nice. I wonder if this caster or this printer has gone in and adjusted Bombito's supports. I generally find Bombito supports to be a little too aggressive and really scar-inducing. I need to check and see if they come with the LYS files to do those. I've been using X-Acto since I started painting more. Might have to get some of those clippers. Yeah, I do really recommend. I do recommend a good pair of snippers. This one's been really good. This is hardened steel, tool steel. Not hardened steel, but tool steel. These are so fucking good. They're called Bead Buddy. They're even they're good enough to snip through tougher materials. I use it to cut brass wire and stuff all the time, and they're holding up really well. But it's about time to replace them. But don't know if you can see, the edges on them are still nice and sharp. No marring, no bites into them. I've cut some really thick material with this stuff too. Though I do recommend for cutting pins, if you're going to cut steel, use something like this. Get like a more traditional pair of wire cutters. Do not use your nippers for that. So I'm just working with these two for now. Could be the exposure, humidity, resin type, and any other number of fun yeah, exactly. Bombito's files are just, they're usually really heavily supported. And I honestly think that his supports are maybe geared towards older machines. Oh, what's that?
@mako_Elios6292 joins the
No
Steak
fucking
Biscuit.
way. Welcome, Steak Biscuit. Thank you for the support, good sir. You should have access to a whole bunch of members-only stream stuff, as well as some fun little emojis next to your name. Thank you for the support. Your funds go directly into getting payouts from YouTube. Thank you so much, homie. Also, Jelly Biscuits, for what it's worth, get the same benefits. The Steak Biscuits is actually just to give more. Thanks for the recommend. Yeah, exactly. Snips for those supports. So, cured supports lead to more scar cured. Not sure if true. Yes, it is. It is actually true. Because, well, So, I always send my supports out, or my mechs out, slightly under cured. I try to warn my buyers that that's why he's. And the thing is, they've got a little bit of flexibility left to them when you receive them this way. And if you hard cure the supports on the model, they're gonna be more brittle. So like, this feels like a pretty decent resin. Not super brittle. It's got a little bit of flexibility to it, so probably a pretty high quality resin there. But depending on what resin you're using, they can be super brittle when fully hard cured. I use Anycubic ABS like Pro 2.0, and I find that it's really tough and fairly flexible. You know, I can bend these bits without snapping them. Watch what happens when I drink this Monster. Ah, yes. I don't have Monster. I have Canada Dry Zero Sugar Tonic Water. I drink this shit a lot. Uh-oh. Is everything okay over there? Are we still in the green? It looks it. How's the blurriness on this camera today? It looks bad. On that screen, at least. How are we looking here? If I do this, do I need to set the focus and stuff? How's this? A little blown out, maybe? Here, let's get that where it'll focus. No, it really don't want to focus. How about you? Are you in focus? Let's get in there. Maybe a little closer. We'll do the up close shots. What do y'all think? Would it be better to have the up close shot, the big frame, and then this camera right here be in the swapping this camera and this camera? Enhance. Looks like a total. Oh yeah. A good Drac mech, I feel, doesn't make it into enough lenses. Shugenja, says Janichi fella. Oh, isn't there a good print of that from was it Wolk who did that? I want to say it was a Wolk mech. I do not know. Oh, fair. Elegoo came out with a clear ABS-like water wash resin that I want to try. I have only tried the basic clear, and honestly, it's been pretty meh for printing, but it's been really useful for applications wherein I need clear resin put on a project and cured with my UV torch. So, you know, even if you don't end up liking the clear stuff for your printing projects, having it around would be really good. It's the same thing as those little bottles of UV resin that you get off of Amazon, but like way cheaper. But more or less, at least. All right, let's get these cleaned up. These supports have broken off nice and cleanly. So, yeah, whoever this seller is that supplied this this client with these parts is really good. Actually, kind of awesome to get a moment to see my competition. And speaking of prints, if you want to pick some up, head on over to eBay, user/Country Fried Minis. If you want any of the Locust Labs kits, I can also do custom stuff. Painting that guy right now, actually, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I need to print some out. There's a few designs that I really like that are not in my collection, and the Shigenja is one of those. I need to get that. I need a good, what's that Capellan Omni mech with the straight gun arms? The Shayu, I think is the name of it. I need one of those. Really happy about the Tempest. I picked up Cromlech's Tempest. It's a little undersized. This was a really good ad. What else? I've already got a good War Dog. Kato Zilks did a fabulous Albatross, really good one. And I think Salvage Drops has a good Albatross now too. Definitely worth checking out. It is wild. There's a lot of good sculpts out there, and you know, not to encourage any of y'all to engage in IP theft, but I would recommend getting good designs that you like sooner rather than later, just in case Catalyst decides to you know, pump the brakes on allowing these people to do what they do. I don't actually hear any conjecture about people getting genuinely shut down, but it's always looming on the horizon, you know. So good to keep an eye out and to fill your collection. I'm reminded of folks like Polygon Masterworks who pulled all their stuff, you know. You want to archive that stuff. What I'm saying is give your local 3D sculptor a little love, and if you can spare a little money, show them support, because we all know that shit is expensive these days. And well, we live in this weird crowdsourced patron of the arts era where it's on to you as the enjoyer to support the people you care about. And that's not even a call to support Country Fried Minis. That is a call to support the people you care about in the art world. Tempest looked like an absolute goober mech. Oh, I love him. The Kato Zilks is a really good one. This is actually probably the best modernized one. That is still accurate to the original artwork. Really fun. Large pulse laser. SRM6 Gauss rifle. I think these are just medium lasers, and it's got an anti-missile system on its head, but it's too small. It's way too small. Like, I'm pretty sure he's a 75-ton mech, so should be a lot bigger than the Prince. I think that's a problem with Cromlech sculpts in general. I printed out his what was it? Do I have it handy? I think it was a Cataphract. Really fun design, but really, really small. Rabbit ears bring it together. Yes, please. Much support of what we like. Oh, yeah. Speaking of, check out Mako Prints. on My Mini Factory. Does some really very unique designs. I'm actually working in a Mako Prince design on my Bug Lance. Got the Locust. Quite unique. A really striking look. Make sure to check them out. 40 tons, 2 ER large laser arms. I'm pretty sure, isn't the Xiaoyu an Omni mech with a bunch of different variants? I don't know. It seems like it'd be fun to, like, you do what? Xiaoyu, Minshin, Duangung, and the Laohu all together, and get the fun, like, Asiatic double name thing going on. Maybe paint them up as who's a good Ellen yet set? What is it? The Warrior House something? Yo boy, yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. It's gonna be fucking super exciting. Well, I say super exciting. They're actually, these guys are going. These are gonna be Arcturan guards, and they're not even the fun Arcturan guards. They're just the white ones. So I think we'll have a lot of fun with the basing and probably the chipping. Maybe try to get the freehand looking super good on those. You know what? Let's get out the dang old... Do I work out? Yeah, I work out.
Okay.
I work out. Let me give you your push-ups, dog. You guys can enjoy my messy table while I'm on the ground.
Bye, everyone. She go on forever.
Someone fucked up my hair. I had to tie it back up. Thank you for the push-up, sir. That microflea you did, gonna go up on your eBay, by the way. I don't play Merrick, but I got a massive soft spot for that thing, for how funny it is. Yeah, I can put it up there. Actually, if you have me on Discord, shoot me a message. Whenever I get it ready, I'll send you some test prints of it. I don't know why that got me so fucking winded, dude. I tried to do them nice and deep for you, Mr. Nathan, and it fucked me up. Maybe you're thinking of the Minshin 4 medium pulse laser LR. No, I know the Minshin. I just thought the Xiaoyu had some other variants. Is it not an Omni? Why am I so fucking winded after a set of push-ups, y'all? Can you explain it to me? Microflea has stalled. I'm really struggling with posing on it right now. And we will get back on it at some point soon. I'm juggling so much stuff. Painting commissions have actually really eat into everything. And somewhat triggered a bit of a mental health crisis, if you will, that has made it super hard to work on fun stuff for the channel. But the workload seems to be clearing. And I think on the other side of this month, we'll be back to some semblance of normalcy. Hugs, hello. Bad mental health is kind of par for the course in my life, unfortunately. So it's been in the way of the content a little bit, but not. Well, I say not too bad, but that'd be a lie. All right, let's get these parts cleaned up. So I think what we'll do is get these things taken apart or cleaned up, and then we'll pop the catalyst boys off their bases. I do need to touch base with this client and maybe even look over my footage of their last mechs and make sure we used catalyst bases and not the 3D printed ones. Because if we did use catalyst bases, I want them all to match, and then I've got 3 models that will need more catalyst bases. Hello, Mr. Landsnake. Hope you're doing well. Hope you get it through it, buddy. Oh, man. Just another day in paradise, you know? Such is the roller coaster of being a fucking weirdo. But that's fine. Alright, so we maybe got to figure out which is front and back on these models. Pelvises. It's not always so easy to tell. I'm going to have to look these up. But you know what? We'll do that in a moment. For now, let's put these off to the side and start working in on the catalyst bases. Try to get this guy in focus somewhat. And while our knife, before we swap to a new knife, because this one's got a bent tip, we're going to get in and just do a little bit of removal here. I think we actually need to go from this angle, and we're just gonna try to get these removed from the base. Any of the guys that have like the stepping bits, we're gonna shave that stuff down so they look nice. We don't need them to hold the minis on the base. All right, let's see if we can't do this without hurting ourselves. Just want to... Disaster is just around the corner, y'all. Always. There we go. Always just a step away from severe injury. Get that base. Alright, Hatamoto-Chi is removed. Just the tip? Yeah. Hey, mod guys, delete those links. Links? There's no links. I don't have your Discord, but that's a damn nice offer, man. Wicked Dragon, if you're not on the Discord and you want to get in touch with me, there is an email link on my YouTube page. You can shoot me an email there. Just let me know it's you, and I can get your information and send them out once I get them pushed out. No warm up on those push-ups is gonna suck. Well, the no warm or the no cooldown on the push-ups, it's not till after what am I trying to say? I want to add a few variations to where it's different exercises instead of just push-ups, and then we'll take the cooldown off of it, or slow the cooldown to, like, I don't know, 4 minutes or something. We talked about it because I want to put the Kegels in there too, because it'd be very funny. And how do you do Kegels on stream while letting your audience know you're doing it? You have to look meaningfully into the camera. And then you hold and you release. And then you, like, contract and you hold and you release. You know what I'm saying? Strengthen that fucking pelvic floor. All right, so that's 2 removed. These are going really smooth today. I am expecting a disaster at any minute now. All right, come on, King Crab. Let's pop you through. This is the one. I think the sharpness of our knife is already spent. Oh, there it goes. Boom, we just had to change angle. Sometimes it's like that, though. You just gotta switch it up, you know? Hit it from the side instead of from the back. And sometimes you want to take it front on. Here we go. Nice clean cut on that. It was just a really big peg. Gamble. Didn't work, gamble and redeem? Wait. Coins? Did the coins... Oh, the coins didn't work. What is it? How do you do it? You do points like that? Points? I think that's how you do it. Oh, dude. Amazingly, immediately lost them. How do you feel about Locust Labs calling her King Crab proxy the lobster? Kind of funny. Kind of funny, given that you've done the lobster. Kind of funny. I gotta admit, I haven't been keeping too much up with what's going on over at Locust Labs lately. I pop in there every now and then, but the painting competition is kind of what's on my mind. I gotta beat Mr. Comstar. I gotta beat Mr. Comstar. It's a matter of personal fulfillment. It's my challenge for the month. Oh, come on. This is crazy. Just cut the shit out of that model. Can we work it up this way? There we go. There we fucking go. That's gonna need some surgery. I sliced into that model a bit, but that's alright. We can clean that up and putty it if we have to. Alright, here we go. Are you gonna pop free for me? I think that's actively bending. There we go. That bent a little bit. Maybe it's just like a fucky angle on the model. There's some really gnarly mold line stuff on this guy. I was actually, on first glance, this looked okay, but these legs are super gnarly mold line stuff. Oh, no fucking way. They're all gone. They're all gone. Here, let's see. I should be able to add points. Add points at Wicked. Oh, it's been a long time since I've tried to do this. How do I do Wicked Dragon 07? Oh, come on. 07. Let's try like 3,500. Like that. Of course this keyboard, this is exactly what it is. What did I just do? I just retracted my message? Holy fuck. Add points. So I'm using an old BlackBerry for my keyboard here, and it's got a really shitty like swipe to delete function, and it did that as I was pressing the enter key. It never works when you need it to. Let's see if that works. Popcat's the best one. Redeem Popcat's only like 5 points. There should be a link for it. I guess you don't exist according to the thing. Unable to find. Let's see. Dude, what is this auto translate thing that YouTube is doing? Can we turn that off?
What? Timberwolf? No,
Yeah,
man,
some of the
that's
redemptions are really, really
that's just
expensive.
cheating. I don't want to lose my friends, man.
I still need to do like a thing that comes up on the screen that tells you what all the redemptions are for. Okay, so next, we've got all these removed. We're just about ready to move into the catalyst mold lines, but that sucks. And my Dremel is still charging a bit. So I want to take a moment to remove some of my mold lines here. Or mold lines, supports. These all come from Blueprint Studios, so they're a little... They're less less like this, where it just goes all the way to the platform, and then more some bonus ones to get good supports on all your three-dimensional surfaces. So you're gonna need to come in here and pop off some supports. Expensive redemptions are my fault, dude. It's really not looking, is it? It's not doing the thing. Let's see. What is it? It's give at. Nope, that is not what I typed. That is not what I typed, YouTube. What is it doing? It's got like all kinds of fucking swipe functions. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think the bot is just really, really stupid. Yeah, I press spacebar and it's just like it's deleting shit that I'm typing. Jesus Christ. Now let's try that. You know, it'd really help if I had a fucking keyboard. Oh, give is on cooldown. Why is there a cooldown on give? I've been given a gambling addiction in a matter of seconds. Well, the thing is, if you hit like a hundo on it, you can very quickly bloat to astronomical numbers. Failed to give. Failed to get it. Okay, the bot just does not recognize that you exist, Wicked Dragon. And it is such a pain in the ass to try and type on that little thing that we'll have to relegate it if one of the mods shows up. Yeah. Not my number. Slink is perfect. Yeah, it is indeed. Slink was down to 0 twice, was it? We actually tried to make the numbers higher, but the Redeem Rich cost 10 million points, and I could not make it go any higher. It was not possible. Of course, that's a limitation of Stream Elements. I do eventually want to get my own bots kind of plugged in. I just need to find the time and start working on using Claude to vibe code it. Just do my own chat scrubbing instead of trying to rely on the YouTube Stream Elements API or Streamlabs, whatever it is. Yeah, that's it right there. The CFM loyalty store is that link right there. Biscuit Horde is unattainable. Yeah, exactly. Invisible like the superhero. Yep. The bot is just a little bit dumb. I wonder if it would work to have... It was easier before when we didn't have the @ being forced to pop up. What if we try this?
@shrink_151 joins the Jelly Biscuits.
Jelly biscuits, thank you, man. Thank you so much for the support. Let's try that. Holy moly. That's, all those memberships go towards getting YouTube to give a payout. Dude, yeah, look at that. Streamlabs is like, nah, you're fucking stupid. Nah, dog. What are you talking about? This name isn't actively in the chat right now. No, that's not a thing. You're dumb. And who am I to argue with the clanker? Who am I to argue with the damn clanker? Shame. For shame. Well, I know you get points, a certain amount, like every... I think the timer payouts like every 5 minutes in which there's been active participation. You can check it on that CloudBot webpage. There was another way to do it to get people points through like a browser extension, but I kind of hate the idea of asking people to install some extension that steals their data. It's already bad enough. Hitting that jackpot. Alright, let's get this happy little cicada going. Can't remember whose cicada this is, but it's one of the better ones I've seen. Looks a lot like the Catalyst model, which I adore. And I really am looking forward to painting. Well, I say that, but it's going to be just white. It's going to be white with some freehand on it. Unfortunately, the Arcturan guards are nice and boring with their just solid white paint jobs. Excepting the 15th. 15th Arcturan guard are awesome. Solid white with the tiger stripe shoulders. Very nice. Very nice. There it is. You hit that hundo. Is that 1 point? 35 billion every time you hit it. Finally home. Wanted to draw a most honorable dragon lady to celebrate the stream while I'm tuned in. Got stuck at a dinner. Ooh, hell yeah. Nice little social engagement with some good food. I do like a good social engagement dinner, tell you the truth. I'm not much of a social person, but meals are a really good way to break the ice with people and encourage small talk, as well as a good place if you're like super introverted like myself, a good way to like demonstrate your value to the collective, you know, by helping in the kitchen. Good stuff. Fucking super good stuff. You know it. Hell yeah, dude. Most honorable dragon lady. I hope she's got massive assets, if you get what I mean. Of course, I'm talking about the tail. Naturally, the tail. Alright, let's continue. This one's pretty fucking gnarly scarred up. That little vent there is an absolute wreck. Let's get in there and try to clean them up a bit. I think maybe my settings on the machine are a little off, creating some bulgy spots near where the supports connect. Might be time to learn some more about support geometry physics and start doing my own supports manually, as problematic and time consuming as that is. Naturally, yeah. Naturally. All I'm thinking about is that tail. Look how long it is, you know what I mean? That Lady Schwanstugel is enormous. Oh wait, that's something different. That cicada is Olive 3D TLAC. Yeah, I think that is correct. Yep. I vaguely recall chatting with Mr. Another Nate about this, which one we were gonna pick for the project. We got Ulva 3D T whatever cicada. We've got Fox 5 Hornet. I think this is the same sculptor as the cicada for the flea, if I recall correctly. And then we got Mako's. Oh, what's that?
At Mako_Helios6292 donated a $3.62 super chat.
Yeah.
Where ya gonna put that tail, Cameron? WHER ya gonna put it?
WHER, she said. Where am I gonna put it? Right in the butt. Right in the butt. Imagine at the end of the hot date with your dragon lady, you go to do nasty bedroom stuff, and then you take that tail and you stick it right in your butt. I doubt she'd ever call you again. Especially if you go, got your tail, and then fucking ram it home. Yeah. Fucking ridiculous. It's always butt stuff around here. You know this, Mako. You know this as well as any other. Oh yes. Currently watching number went down at that, y'all. Somebody don't like dragon tails in their butt. How could you not like that? Look, man, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. That's not very long. No, it's terrible. I wouldn't actually do that. No. I'm a fucking prude, dude. I'm a prude. Boring, even. Alright, this guy's got a weird little thingamabob there. We'll try to cut this off without injuring ourselves. I think we maybe even need to do this on the work surface, maybe? Oh god, the camera broke. No! Alright, let's get it reseated, replugged, and find our Solo 8. That's the Brio. There's Solo 8. Deactivate? Reactivate. And then we need to flip this thing like that. And then be more careful about how far we zoom in. There we go. Try to get it to focus at least. Come on, Mia. I was holding so still I couldn't tell. Let's see. So normally this is about where we're living. Okay. See if we can get it to focus on the desk surface. It really doesn't want to, which is shocking to me because this is a document cam, so it's meant to work on the surface. All right, so the bend is going this way, so I think we got to work this direction, and we're just gonna chop it. And that was a decent break. decent break there, so we should be able to shave it smooth now. Providing lots of support to the ankles so we don't snap it. And remove that silly little thing. I don't need that to support this model of the base. The super glue on these toes will be more than sufficient. It's so lightweight. I appreciate that the designers include those. But I'm not worried about breakage because I'm not using shitty brittle resin. Cameron's heart is only for P-Pool Man, and it is a pure-hearted love. The P-Pool Man, that guy is a legend. If you don't know about the P-Pool Man, you should look it up. It's a thing. It's a thing. Yeah, I live downtown SF, and I live very close to where the Folsom Street Fair is at. So yeah, you see all kinds of stuff at Folsom Street Fair. I've only been once or twice, maybe twice. I think it's been twice. I usually avoid it because I'm a bit of an introvert, but I did see Picasso there, and he did a portrait of, who was it? It was some politician of yesteryear. I think it was a JFK portrait, if I recall correctly. And yes, Picasso paints with his penis. It was quite the show. I think I've actually heard the name One Shudders to imagine that man's origins. Yes. Pretty famous guy. It was a really entertaining show. Massive hog. Holy shit, what a hog. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Like, I did that you'd get much of a... You'd have to be really entertaining to be up there painting pictures with a dink of a dong, you know what I'm saying? Come out looking like fucking finger painting. What's shocking is, through it all, it was like, it was a passable likeness of his intended portrait. Man has a talent worthy of mention. Able to create a variety of textures and shapes by controlling turgidity. Was a fun time. Nothing phases you when you stumble through places like downtown SF. That is true. Well, it has been true, but the bums have been bad lately. The homeless situation in SF is getting a little more, a little bad. We don't really police the homeless anymore, which sucks. It's like a performative, a weird kind of political performative progressivism here, where they are. Our SF administration like pretends to care, but really they just don't do anything about it. And it's getting real bad. No real solution in sight. Because of course the actual solutions would either need to violate rights or cost an immense amount of taxpayer money, or both. So nobody actually has solutions, and I think on some level those in charge of the city and counties purse strings just kind of pretend it's not a thing. But I assure you, it's a thing. It's a thing for sure. And I think it's indicative of the state of kind of social desperation in society in general lately. Things is tough. And if things is tough for non-homeless individuals, then it must be especially hard on the homeless folks. So I do feel for some of them, but the problem bums in my neighborhood, you know, the guys smoking meth under my window and shouting at 3 in the morning, those guys suck and are quickly eroding my empathy. Know what he is? He's a fucking Metal Gear character. Ah, yeah, dude, he really is. Yeah. Dude, I can imagine, like, the whole speech about painting with your dong and how freeing it is, and then you fight the guy naked, and he's got like a, I don't know, like a submachine gun or something, really high fire rate. Be like the fight versus oh, who's the guy from the boat in Metal Gear Solid 2? Yes. Rotary autocannon. I'm a fan. Okay, so I think we got all our 3D prints ready. It's best I could here. This one had a lot of scarring down here. But it's on the underside of the model. I don't think anyone will notice. It'll be fine. These guys are going to go on these mountain style bases. So those are going to be fine. Let's set those off to the side. Where are we looking at? 7 o'clock. We're an hour in. All right, sick. Let's get in on our catalyst models and see if we can't start getting these guys presentable. He's wielding the Dongle Blaster 5K. Yes. Blast your dong all over Solid Snake. Alright, Charger has a bit of a problematic shape here on the foot. That foot goes down, but this one's a little elevated. So I think we're going to have to come in here and carve our shape into the bottom of the foot there. So let's come in here and get that off. And again, we're riding along that panel line. We're just going to try to get this nice and smooth. I'm biting in and I'm turning the blade. Nice and sharp tip. And coming back the other side. Let's see if we can't clean that up with the side of our diamond file. And just get in there and really reinforce that section. Make sure to get the sharp angles. Not a super important detail, so we just want kind of perfunctory work here. And then we also want to clean up that little bit right there. So we get this kind of T-shaped junction going on. Give that a little love. Anyhow, I don't know how far we're going to go with these guys tonight. I think what I'm going to do is get these cleaned up and get them ready. And then we'll be back tomorrow evening at the same time. I know I said that before with the tiger sharks, but this for real this time. We don't have any disasters to worry about. Coming back in tomorrow evening to actually start on the painting. I will do my best to do the priming, but if we end up priming on stream, I will at least try to talk about it. And try to make it somewhat interesting. You know, it's funny. It looks like we've already got some mold line removal happening here. Did this client pre-clean some of these? It looks a little bit like these have been pre-cleaned. Interesting. Quite interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely scraped. Look at there. Did I clean these at some point? I don't think I did. I'm gonna have to reach out to the client about this. Funny. That is definitely mold line scraping that has happened here. Funny. Well, shit, let's just clean it up with the fine file here. Get in here and get those looking all right. Let's reset this. Chow. What does this add? What does this add? I don't like ads. All right. What's today? Today's Wednesday already. Eesh. Started to dig this out. I don't think we need to because it's going to go flat on the base. So unimportant, but we can get in here and clean some of the mold line stuff. Let's try to get this one cleaned up right here. And as always, you know, it's not super important to get every last one of them. But we do want to try to clean up as much as possible and get them looking good. Let's bust out this brass wire brush. See what we can do here. We got some right here, and I find that the brass wire brush, it'll clean up some of it, but it'll also like it'll pull it'll kind of make the edges white and a little easier to notice. I'm smelling burning. Everything all right? When you run it over, it'll make mold lines that you couldn't necessarily see before kind of pop up and get stained white by stressing the material, and let you get in there and really be able to clean them off. Stuff that you maybe wouldn't notice before. Right there. Or like right here. Make that little bit right there stand out. Right here. You know, it's funny, I really need to start working this in as part of the cost on these minis. Reminder that Catalyst requires extra cleanup. A little bit extra. Let's see, we got a mold line running across a detail. Again, for shame, Catalyst, for shame. Have you no shame? Have you no shame? See if we can't clean that out. It's like it looks like a oversized screw head. It's got a mold line running across it. And the mold line itself is like as big as the detail. I can't scrub that out. Get it looking okay. Yeah. Go through the effort and find the biggest, most horrible mold line after you prime the damn thing. Oh, you know it every time. Also, hello, Mr. Kotex. Hope you're doing well. Yeah. But you know, if it's worth doing, it is worth doing right. Oh, man. Again, look, like, okay. This, let's see if I can even show this. This detail right here, right? It's like a circular piece with a slash through it. It has a fucking mold line going through it. Like, if you were a competent designer who cared about the surface results of your minis, you'd have that same mold line right here, where you could fucking get to it. That's crazy. I mean, I understand why it's where it's at, because it's like, the mold line is there for industrial processes, not for the surface finish your model, but like, come on, you could maybe even design this where the undercut isn't as strong. There are ways to get around this if it was a competent a competent mold maker, but I don't think they're working with competent mold making designers. I think we live in an era of 3D printed miniatures, so you can just make models look like whatever the fuck you want, and then you've handed it over into you've entrusted the mold making to the mold makers, who are not model makers and who don't necessarily give a shit about the results as much as they care about the ability to get them done cheaply and efficiently. I mean, they're fine. They're good-ish. But just imagine if you could get this fabulous charger as a 3D print, even from Catalyst directly. Like that'd be pretty awesome, wouldn't it? Actually getting these in good quality. Thanks, Catalyst. Very cringe. Any reason they think they don't use different printing stuff, or B, sell the STLs? STLs, you can't sell the STLs without piracy, unfortunately. And there are artists out there who have like stopped doing work because of that. Which I think is silly, because I could recast this all day if I wanted to. There are 3D prints out there. They get handed out to official Catalyst people. 3D prints are sharper too. Yeah. The softness. I believe the softness is an artifact of these being PVC. So these are not. PVC is cast at a. It's not a high pressure mold like a styrene injection would be. So you get this like softening of all the edges, which is unfortunate. Catalyst could help us out and not use PVC. Yeah, the PVC's thing. The thing is, so Catalyst has gone with a company that makes game pieces for Kickstarters. And that's just kind of the ecosystem we live in. And unfortunately, if you want the models affordable, going with the Chinese Kickstarter fulfillment company is the way to do it. Raw materials are cheaper, labor is cheaper, they have the expertise and the tooling to do it. Like, okay, little devil's advocate here. If you think of this as a game piece, which is what it is, it's not a model, it's a game piece. If you think of this model as a game piece, that's some of the best fucking game pieces, like, period, right? Like, in the context of a board game, holy fuck, that's fabulous. As far as like a premium product for miniature painting, not so much. Damn shame, nothing beats CGL's Dragon Mold, dude. Favorite mech in the whole setting. Yeah, but see, imagine that CGL sculpt of the dragon sold, even from like an official printer with this type of like crispy details, you know. I'm just shocked that they haven't done that. Like, I know there's good printers out there. I don't have it handy, but Big Child Creatives does some of their models in 3D print, and they're really, really high quality. They're stupidly high quality. I think there's probably some complicated licensing crap they have to deal with, like with the whole Iron Metal situation. Like, Iron Winds had the exclusive right to sell the models. That's why all the packs, the CGL packs, are they're game expansions. They're not actually models. Saw 2 official resin prints at the Scottish National Tournament, prototypes of the upcoming box mech. How were the... Did you get a good look at like the edges on them? Like nice sharp edges and high quality stuff. Like, the designs are fine. They're great. They're just PVC game pieces. Hatamoto's looking okay. This has been cleaned on. This has been cleaned up. Let's hit that with the brass wire brush. Get a little bit more right here. Posting the Battletech channel on the Discord a while back. I vaguely remember that, Mr. Kotex. Yeah, a reminder to folks out there that we do have a Discord. And occasionally we do hobby stuff over there. Though mostly we hang out in the voice chats and talk about something about bees. We do have a movie night though. And I think movie night's coming up soon, right? Second Sundays? Rakshasa Madcat Mark II, yes. Yes, yes, yes. What's our calendar? So the 7th is the first Sunday. Next movie night is on Sunday the 14th. Sculpts are awesome on all the CGL stuff I bought. There's just some obvious compromises for the sake of it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Frankie to Fix. I'd love to see these fabulous sculpts in like a higher quality casting or printing. Even if it was just like more of them available from Iron Wind Metals would be cool. And in fact, I've got an upcoming project with an Iron Winds model. I'm going to be working on the Clanbuster, Catalyst sculpt has been made by Iron Winds, and it's the same sculpt as the premium without the shitty quality of that producer. Whoever did was really dropped the fucking ball. I think whoever did the premium models maybe talked a big game and got the contract for it, but actually didn't have the quality standards to really call them premium. Like the premium Black Knight actually has oval cannons on the front. They're so bad. Had the joyous experience of working on that during that big olive drab mech set. You guys remember that one? We got a bit of a gnarly little mold line right here. Let's see if we can't get in there and pop that free. But I'll tell you what really makes mold line removal go so well is having some folks to hang out with while you hobby. And you kind viewers here in chat are doing that for me. But what I'm getting at is I highly recommend getting together with your homies and doing hobby hangouts. They work really well. We've done a few of them in the Discord, where people like turn on their cameras and all hang out and talk shit and fucking work on hands-on hobby stuff. Big recommend. Yeah, I've gotten a couple newer sculpts from Ironwood Metals. They're much more crisp. There's some weird texturing in the metal going on. Yeah, I think that does tend to happen. Do I have any new ones? I don't think so. Got older designs up here. Honestly, I think it's probably just a bit of a side effect of the metal itself. That it gets a bit of a surface thing going on. It may also be a side effect of the vulcanization process for the spin cast molds. Though I have seen some pics of recent designs where even the layer lines from the master print are present in the final cast. Doodum. Doodum. Most of my buddies are upstate, so we do like bi-tri quad annual meetups for Nerdsit. That's fucking cool as shit, dude. Sounds awesome. Sounds awesome. Super fun. I've been meeting with some homies recently to play Twilight Imperium. It's been really fun. Not so much hobby stuff. I shaved a little much there, I think. No, that looks good. That looks passable. Let's try to flatten it out a little more. I need to take just like a micron or two off of this side here. There we go. Looks a lot better. I don't want to take too much. So I want to preserve that original look. We got a bit of a, I don't know if the camera's picking that up, a little bit of a mold line running down this piece right here. It's going to be a pain to get in there. Trying to just get the mold line without biting in too deeply. But there's a bit of concavity to this piece here. Maybe we can get it with the file tip. I think it's actually like power tool territory, honestly. There we go. There we go. There we go. That actually looks like shit now. See if we can't shave that material down. There we go. Is that same on the other side? Not so bad over here. Looks like the mold line runs up and over it. Like here and then up and over. So let's try to bite in and get that off. It's really hard to see these actually. I think there's some cop cars going by out there. got kind of a curvy shape mold line right here that loops around like that. So I think we're gonna do that same thing here and try to press our blade flat as we can, and just shave little bits of material till it's nice and smooth. There we go. I think that looks okay. Ooh, there's a bit of a gouge on this side. Can y'all see that? See where we got that right here? That gouge. I have to try to fix that real quick. Same way. Just want to get our we want to get our knife to bite in, but not take a ton of material. I'm making it worse. Come on. There. Nope. Almost. Try to get in there and bite into that material. There we go. It looks a lot better. There's still a bit of a gouge here, but I really don't want to eat too much material off that. Can we flatten it with the file, maybe? Let's get a more aggressive file here. A gouge or surprise battle damage. Yeah. Love that Hatamoto-Chi sculpt. Bought 2 of those boxes pretty much for them. I really need to do one for my own collection, too. I've done a few Hatamotos now, but they've all been the Sylogy, what do you call it? MWO style sculpt, which is fine. I rather like it, but this one's super fun. The rounded look is good, and it mostly holds to the Charger look. They did make it look distinct, but it is mostly a Charger. Mostly. Do rock. Some of them came down a month back for a week, and it was BattleTech every single day. Yeah. Have you ever tried filling a gap on that PVC? What sticks? Ooh, that's a good question. Green stuff is alright. Milliput works fine. You might actually want to use Hamia putty, and because this stuff is sandable once it goes down. It's also, where's my acetone? Do I have some handy? I do. You can also come on. You can also thin this stuff. Do I have a container for this? I might. Here we go. So you can actually, this stuff comes out of the tube nice and like really, really thin already. So it's super, you know, it's kind of stringy a bit while you're moving around, but you can put just a little bit of acetone on it, or you know, I bet you even Hamia cement would probably work really well. Just put some down and should be able to thin it and just apply it super carefully. Yeah, you can turn that into like as thin as paint consistency, right? And then once this stuff sets up, you can sand it really smooth. So it might be your go-to. You can see it, like it's very sticky. It gets over everything. It clings where it wants to go. If you don't have this stuff in your collection, I recommend picking up a tube. It's solvent based, so it's not gonna like dry out on you. I've thinned it with lacquer thinner, but damn, does it make the hobby fix it? Yeah. Are there any Hatamoto proxies that aren't just the MWO rip? That's a good question. That's a really good question, actually. Hatatototo. Hatatototo. Let's see. Let's fucking see. Let's check the Ragic database. tell you right now. Ragic. Ragic. Pull up the Ragic. Let's check. God, that stuff really does. It really does stink so bad. We'll pop open mobile assets mechs. Let's do filter by tech switch. Hatamoto. Let's search. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. Oh, you know what? Wolk did one. Wolk did one that looks pretty decent. It does have like a big face on it. Did my music just die? What the hell? What the hell? What's going on here? Is that working now? Whoa, that's crazy. Music dead. What the hell? What the hell? Yeah, exactly. All right, we got it. Okay, yeah, so Wolk did one. There was another one I saw on here. It looks decent. I see a lot of them. God damn it, let me scroll without clicking on the thing, you bitch. Who is this? I'm not clicking on that, sir. OLV3 DD Tac did one. It looks decent. It's a little weird looking. I could get down on it though. There was one more that was decent. The why can't I scroll? Please let me scroll. Why can't I scroll on this fucking page, please? Who's this? Stratos Minis did one. I don't know if you can still get Stratos Minis. But I rather like theirs quite a bit. He got that long loincloth thingamabob. Super fun. Yeah, there's a few out there. Not really any good ones though. Nothing that even comes close to the Catalyst. Okay, where the hell were we at? Where the hell were we at? I think we were still working on this guy's panels. So let's hit this end with the, oh, I see like a bulge here. Let's try to smooth that bulge down. Get a nice flat panel here. Hit it with the brass wire brush now. The traffic is real, yo. Don't let them tell you the traffic isn't real. It is very real. Getting a nice jerking it motion here. That looks decent. This has got a raised mold line. So let's come in here and try to press real firm. There we go. And it'll come right off like that. Fuck yeah. Do we have a mold line running across this bit? No, not bad enough to require intervention. This one's nice and smoothed down. This one is a little raised though right here. And you know, it's funny, I bet you these are not even going to remotely show up in the product. I'm just kind of overdoing it at this point. I think that looks good. We got a little bit of one right here. Let's see if we can't get it nice and smoothed out. I almost need like a fucking emery board for this. to polish it cylindrically. That third one's pretty clean. Yeah. Yeah, Stratos Minis. They're pretty good. They're not available as STLs. They might be available as STLs. But I remember that they were available as prints. Not sure who has the rights to them anymore. I'm pretty sure somebody bought the rights to them, if I recall correctly. Okay, that's 2 down. Let's move on to Mr. Jenner. Definitely one of my favorite CGL sculpts. I hate that they gave him a waist, to tell you the truth. I am a fan of the old waist-free walking pair of pants. Continuing to shave. Let's get this thing nice and flattened down, and then this base. We need this foot flat so that it'll sit nice and flush. And let's hit it with our coarse file first. Coarse file, boom. I really want to bite into this section right here with the ABS. And then we'll hit it with this. Cha-chow. There we go. Rub it smooth. That's looking okay. Yeah, dude, this has been cleaned up already. I don't know if I did this or not. I don't remember doing this. Do not remember it. Does the brass brush leave any marks on the PVC? It's very, very subtle texture, enough that it'll go away with priming. It actually kind of polishes it. Now, I would not use, usually when you buy these sets, you'll get the steel as well. Don't use the steel on it. The steel teeth are too much, but the brass is, like, the brass is fine. I can like really get in there on my skin with this, and it's fine. Like, that's a little hot and irritated, but it's not super aggressive. I wouldn't do that with the steel wire brush, for instance. So I like the brass wire brush because it, you know, the way when you're removing the mold lines, and you get the little bits that like tenaciously cling on. I need the steel ones to work anyway. Yeah, fair. Yeah, I got one of these cheapo sets that came with nylon, brass, and steel, and this thing has done a ton of work for me. Even this has been super useful for super stubborn paint removal projects. If you get a mini that's like you've got it in the LA's Totally Awesome and it's still like primer clinging onto it, you can really dig at it with that. Okay, so what do we got here? We got like really weird soft detail right here. See if we can't get that. Like, I'm not even sure what shape this is supposed to be, honestly. Let's try to restructure this thing. Ooh, I like this track a lot. Who dis? I can't tell. Whatevers. Alright. Let's cut into this. Yeah, you see like these Klingon bits here that like they don't want to leave, and like you slice them but they're still on there, like feathery. Those are usually defeated by the brass wire brush. And you could tell there's like a little surface material, but it's like it's no more texture than you'd get on a pewter mini, for instance. Once you hit it with the primer, it's unnoticeable. Yeah, I can thank Mr. Nathan for the brass wire brush. I think, if I recall correctly, Comstar was also using them. But you know, either way, like, this is so much more labor intensive than like cleaning mold lines off a GW styrene, for instance. But like, yeah, there we go. We got another clinger right there. A little bit hanging on. Attack it. And I mean, I'm getting in. I'm fucking grinding into this. You know, it's not really gonna hurt the details. And I've also seen people have good luck with using a little bit of acetone on a Q-tip to reduce some of these, but you need to be really careful because that will destroy detail. I think we need to. I almost feel like I need to get out the Dremel for some of this. I do have it on the charger specifically for this. What is next on this boy? This is super egregious right there. Let's see if that works. Can we get in on that? We have a mold line that runs along the body here and then up onto this panel. And this would be super easy to get to if that arm wasn't already attached. You know? So instead I've got to really work with tiny tools to get in there and run it down without hurting things. Get in here and give that some love. We're going to come in probably with the back end of this brush. Get in there and really scrub it, and it should remove all those little clingers. We got a little bit that's still hanging on. Let's see if we can't dislodge that with the knife right here. Boop. There we go. Dude, I am smelling something burning. Yep, I use them. Yeah. I thought you used the brass wire brushes, Mr. Comstar. Frankie DeFish says, I've used the Tamiya Ultra Thin to try and melt the fuzzies and lighter mold lines. Mixed success. Okay, good to know. Yeah, Tamiya Thin is, I think that's more aggressive than acetone as well, if I recall correctly. Could maybe use Weldon. What is it? Weldon 3, the stuff that Sublight Drive uses. That might work. It's basically the same thing. I'm pretty sure it's just methyl ethyl ketone, but it's like a hotter formulation. All right, let's see if we can't dig out that same mold line on this side. I think I may have scooped it with that first shot, actually. We have this one that runs down. All right, this is a good example of the mold crafters not giving a fuck about detail. So you have this line that runs across the cockpit onto this. So because the mold line sits right here, it destroys the detail entirely where these two angles join, and then it cuts down and across this detail, destroying this panel line, So there should be a nice like cut across and then down that's very softened out and destroyed. And it runs down the front of this and across that and up that, destroying yet another detail. So these details get fucking wrecked by the industrial process. We just need, honestly, we just need Catalyst 3D prints. Even if they can't sell us the STLs, like just having 3D prints available would be so nice. Who's popping? I use a butane jet lighter and wave it over the fuzzy bits from scraping mold lines. Holy shit. Have you left any food out on the stove? I don't think so. Let me take a peek. That's what I keep glancing over here for. No. Maybe my computer's fucking melting. Hell, for all I know, it could be a bum under my window smoking fucking meth. Hatamoto. Yeah, it's... I'm not sure how I feel about that one. It's a nice sculpt, but it's like... It's definitely super legally distinct. Honestly, the MechWare Online one is pretty good, too. If you haven't painted one, I recommend it. I painted one for my Arizona Iced Tea mechs. They were really fun. Oh, speaking of mechs, let me take a moment and promo my shit for a second here and pull out these guys. Yay, ADD powers activate. I just finished up some first Canopian cuirassiers. You can see them. I put a short out about them. These are about to go up on eBay. And if any of y'all are interested, make sure to send an offer. And I will approve your offer. See if we can't get this. Focus for me, camera. Focus for me. We got the Hunchback HBK 5SG. It might be the SS. This is the one that is North Storm mechs. These are first Canopian cuirassiers. We've got some nice for one, he's number 69, of course. We got the little cat girl detail. And then let's see if I can't get in here. We got the Magistracy of Canopus and the first cuirassiers there. We've got the Jenner. This Jenner. This is Locust Labs Jenner. In fact, this whole set is Locust Labs. Number 53 there. We got the cat girl there. Same little logos. All ready for play. We got a Puma A, I think it is. It's the one with the LRM-20s. Cat girl on top, number 32. And then we've got the TNT 9R Panther standard, of course. Cat girl on the side here, and this is number, I can't even make it out anymore. I think it's 27. We got a lot of chipping on top of it. And then with this set comes number 2 and 3. These are Hunter light tanks, one with a LRM-20 and one with an LRM-15. Yeah, 15 with a large laser. So if you guys are interested, if anyone who have seen this stream is interested, make sure to send an offer. I'll post these tonight onto eBay, and you can get them for less than full price. All offers considered. More egregious discounts can be negotiated. But those are for a game versus Mr. Daleth on the channel. Puma A, yeah. There are 3067. I think it's 3067. Maybe 3065. I can't remember. I'd have to ask Mr. Daleth. But those are going to be scanned into the game as well. So if you want to play with those models, but don't want to buy them, make sure to subscribe to the Country Fried Minis, Country Fried Mercs on Tabletop Simulator, and they will be added to that for our next Tabletop Sim live stream. All right, start cleaning up this crabbo. Ooh, I cut way too deep on that. Holy shit, that's way too much material. Fuck. See if I can't fix that. That's way too much material I just shaved. How do we correct that? I think what we can do is just get in here and really aggressively carve down the panel line. Right here. I was just trying to shave it, not destroy it. Maybe we can remove a little bit more material here. Take a couple microns off. And then cut it and... that sucks, dude. Big misstep on my part. I was distracted. Alright, let's hit it with the brass wire. Clean it up. I'll give you 30 basic coins. Too good. Man, imagine a world in which you could exchange those for monies. Like even a astronomically small amount would still net huge rewards. I just hit the camera. Top looks okay. We have one mold line running up the side here. That's a little bit not great. So let's get in here and try to shave that without taking too much material off. Just made a gouge. I think this might be a file situation here. You know what I really need is I need like a filing grit on the end of a stick. Like that I can stick down like this and fucking rub like that. Okay. Try to get this guy flattened down. That might be hobby knife situation here actually. Let's swipe that clean. And now we get the side here. Pull out the brush again. We can see we got a little bit right chair that needs to come down. A little bit right chair. Little right chair. Let's get that nice and clean, you know what I mean. Alright. It's not as bad on this other side. We do have one that runs straight out from this gun though. Right here. Right there. Comes across the top of the gun. So I think we can maybe come in here with the triangular file across the top of that. This one's a nice softer grit than the flat one. I'm using the Army Painter files here. Oh, what is this? A sponsored ad in the chat? Ugh, goddamn, YouTube, you fucking egregious bastards. The true biscuit coin economy was the friends we made along the way and tubes we farted into together. Dude, can you imagine two people farting into the same tube at the same time? Wait, don't imagine that. 0.01% would be 160 million. I'd take that. Exactly. Yeah, the numbers that you've hit are, well, you're just deep lore now, Mr. Slink. You're just deep lore. Deep lore. Not to be confused with Data. That's his brother. All right, where's our next problem spot? We got some weird material flow happening here. Looks where 2 jets of our PVC material met. So let's try and smooth that. Now remember, catalyst mold lines are so bad that some of the guys on camo specs remove mold lines with Photoshop after they're done. All right, we have some really horrible mold line stuff on the top of that. See if we can't get in here with the hobby knife and scrape it clean. I think we might could get in here with this file. I'm gonna get in there. I'm really bearing down on this too, being super aggressive with it. See if we can't clean it up with the brass wire now. It looks decent. That looks decent. I'm not upset at that. Try to clean up all that. I maybe need to use the acetone trick here, actually. So maybe let's do that. And get a cotton swab. Get a little cotton swab. I'm now imagining 2 people holding a paper towel tube, butt to butt, farting. Yeah. That's exactly what I was getting at. 2 biscuits, 1 tube. You know, I never saw 2 girls, 1 cup. Not that I have any desire to. Just a reminder that there are risky links out there, and to always know what the link is before you hit it. So we're gonna get in here with just a little swipe, little swipe, little swipe. Just come in here and attack that a little bit. Attack that. Make sure to keep our surfaces nice and shaped so we don't lose too much of the detail. I'm going to use the edge of my hobby blade to kind of reshape that a little bit. And we're going to come in with the brass wire again. I think that's just going to have to do. I don't know how much more we can smooth that down without destroying the detail. We got a little bit of a line right there on that edge. Who's next? Where are we? We're about 2 hours in. You don't need to. I can't erase it from memory. I wish I had brain cells back. Yeah, exactly. Acid boiled crab legs. Is that more of an Applebee's or Red Lobster item? Ooh. That's a good question. I think it's actually a Red Lobster item, because if it was Applebee's, they would have taken the meat and like put it into some other form. It'd be like an egg roll, or like a fucking taco, or a quesadilla, or a burger patty or something. Whereas Red Lobster would just sell you the acid boiled legs. I took my first date in high school to a Red Lobster. It was a miserable fucking experience. I spent a lot of money, and she acted a fucking fool. You know who you are. All right, so do we really need to do the underside? Yes, we need to do the underside. Am I kidding? If it's worth doing, it's worth doing. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's clean this one up too. Come in with the triangular file. This one's been really good on the round surfaces. Oh my god, with the... Dude, are you guys getting ad that's popping up? Are you guys getting ads that pop up in the chat and like take over the chat? That's new to me. I'm sorry, Mama, but tonight I'm cleaning out my Doritos. Yeah, exactly. An educated answer, yes. Yes, indeed. 100 times 2, I'm rich. What have you hit? Where's the amount? 1.67 trillion. Holy shit. Yeah, you gotta do it. You gotta clean them. I mean, yeah. I'm a little haunted actually by the oh my god, there's a fill mark. There's an injection mark on the fucking antenna. What? Why? Why would you inject via the antenna? Holy shit, that's a cavity. Holy shit, that's a cavity. You know what? We were talking about it earlier. Up from 1.63, yeah, that's huge, dude. I can't believe it. All right, speaking of Tamiya putty, I think we're about to use a little Tamiya putty on this boy. Let's carve. No, I'm not going to carve any more into it. I think I removed enough of the cavity. We're going to come in here, we're going to fill that hole with our putty. And we want to get enough on there that this will set up pretty strong. Make sure that all the edges are covered, because we're going to come in here and we're going to do reductive stuff to it once it dries. Okay, so we're going to come back to our king crab. Let's set him aside. Luckily, the Tamiya putty dries out really fast. So we'll put that over there. And we have the Marauder 2C to fill. And actually, I have an egregious error to fix on this boy anyways. So, for that, let's get out our super glue first. Oh, you know what? I think if we're getting out super glue, we should maybe get out a guest palette. We should maybe get out a guest palette. How about... Oh, I got just the one, y'all. I got just the one. Right on top. Princess Peach's overly inflated peach. Yes. These are fucking awful. Here we go. Let's... There you go. You got... Is that safe for YouTube? I think not safe for YouTube, actually. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. Absolutely insane. Let's put a little bit of glue down. Do I have an implement handy? That'll do right there. We got some glue. Let's get this hobby knife blade that I was using last time. Alright, so we need to get... I think what we can do here is push that glue under the spot that we cut into, like that. And then we're going to press it firm. We're going to hold it for a few seconds. And we should be able to come in and hit it with the accelerant. There we go. Let's get this disgusting gooner material out of here. That coin slot looks deeper than the butt dealer. Yeah, exactly. Sweet Jesus. Yeah, rubber gooner sticker. You guys know it. Like, so I have those because of the Amazon return stores in my hometown. There's these places that sell a bunch of Amazon return items, and my mom would take my sister's kids there. And well, there were all these stickers in the bins, and so because, you know, she was trying to protect the kids from being exposed to so much gooner material, my mom would scoop them up and like quietly throw them in their basket and buy them, because it was like fill a bag for $5 day or whatever. You know, kids are there toy shopping, so she'd end up with all these fucking gooner stickers, and she's like, "You want all this smut?" And I'm like, "Yes, of course I want the smut. Please give me that smut." And now I have a giant box full of gooner material. Will we ever get through it all? Probably not. Alright, so this needs to dry, so we're just going to keep working around the model. I hope that music is not coming through. Somebody is, it looks like it's not coming through. One of my lovely, neighborhood, vagrants is under my window with a Bluetooth speaker blasting music. And it is far too warm in my apartment to close the windows. Pretty terrible music as well. Not good. All right, let's get that. Get that cleaned up. Pull the fuzzies off it. Do we need to bring this line down? Maybe. It kind of looked like it. I'm just gonna very gently hit this until it comes down. There we go. There's such a little bit that needs to come off. There we go. Where's our next egregious mold line? Looks like they run along the seam of our boy's chassis right there. What's the most bizarre thing you've heard him play on the speaker? Well, there's a few of them. There's one guy who plays like classic rock. There's another person who plays classical music, and then this person's listening to it's hard to describe what it is. Like some kind of techno rap. The quality of the lyrics makes me think it might even be like a local artist that they're blasting. Sounds like it's time to empty the bedpan. No, I'd go to jail for that. It's so I actually heard an opinion about this earlier today that I really agree with. It's not that any one individual doing this stuff is problematic. It's this social acceptance of this antisocial behavior that is extremely problematic. Like, the guy at your local park smoking a joint isn't a problem. But a whole bunch of people gathered in a regular spot smoking weed all together out in public is a problem. The people who are on the corner fucking folded in half on fentanyl, that's a problem. And there's no real, like, I was saying earlier, there's no real solution that doesn't involve either like violating their rights as Americans or like costing an arm and a leg. It's really unfortunate, and it hasn't been this bad. I've lived in SF since 2009, and it's been really good up until the last few years. It's gotten bad in the last few years. Yeah, I checked out neighborhoods to make sure they weren't weed hoods. Yeah. Unfortunately, I live downtown, and I think I was talking about it earlier. The current San Francisco administration has this like performatively progressive thing they're doing. Like, they're not actually doing anything about the bums, but they're like performing that they are. So there was this campaign where they rounded up a bunch of people from the Mission District and moved them. And a lot of them came down here to my neighborhood. I live in Soma. And they're down here now. And it really sucks because like there are robust social systems and like help that's available, but a lot of the folks who are out here are like really far gone into drug culture and have like descended into antisocial behaviors, which really sucks. I just don't want to smell their skunk ass weed, dude. It's so funny that like, yeah, I get that. I used to be a stoner up till about 2017. Smoked a lot of weed, and I always associated the funk stink of good weed with like positive things, and I know now it is quite noxious. You know, that's actually believe it or not, that's the reason you can't grow weed plants in community gardens in SF, for instance. Not because it's weed, but because it's a noxious plant. It falls in the same category as the corpse flower. Like, you can't grow those. They're noxious. Alright, so this thing's got some really fucking destroyed details on that foot thanks to these mold lines. See if we can't do something about it. And then I'm watching this to harden, and we'll sand that flat. We could maybe even come in here with this guy right across the top. Oh, it looks like some of this detail got cut off by whatever effort was being done on it before. That sucks. I don't know if I can repair that. I could remove all of them to get them looking similar. I think that might be our recourse here. I think whatever effort was done to pull the mold lines down cut off one of the tips of this shape. So what I'm going to do is mirror that cut on all of these. That actually explains why I'm confused about this this cleanup here. It looks like there was some cleanup done that was a little too aggressive. Oops. Is that still gushy? Still a little bit. This is fucking hard to get in on. Let's pop that. There we go. And then, man, it's just hard to hold to do the thing. Okay, and then we want to do the same thing right here. I'm not on camera. All right, brass wire brush time. Clean that up. Is the bar Zeitgeist still there? Dude, where was Zeitgeist? Where was Zeitgeist? I remember Zeitgeist. Valencia Street. Yeah, Zeitgeist is still open. Yes. Yes, it is. That's over... I don't know, that's like fucking... That's like 10 blocks, 12 blocks away. Finally home where the band would live. Welcome, Mr. Another Nate. I don't give a fuck if people smoke. I just don't want to smell that ass. Yeah, it's, well, that's what I'm getting at, right? Like, it's fine that they do it, but, like, concentrating in public to do it where your noxious fumes are becoming a thing is an anathema to, like, healthy, functioning society. That's part of why I'm an advocate. Like, people need a safe space to do it. Even, like, harder drugs. Like, I'm an advocate for, oh, what do they call those places where they give the dope users like a safe space to inject? A needle exchange? Is that what it is? Like, I'm even okay with that. Not that I like support needle dope use, but like without a space to do it, these folks tend to engage in antisocial behavior, which erodes the fabric of society. More or less. Okay, let's check on our crab here that we put the stuff on. In fact, let's get like way in on it and try to focus on that. Are you gonna focus? Come on. You can do it, mister. You can do it. You know you can. There we go. All right, so we got our goosh on here from earlier, and we're gonna just try to scrape it smooth. Try to get it nice and smooth. And I'm trying to remove, you know, this with like a less is more approach here. As little as I can at a time. In fact, I think we maybe even want to come in here with this guy. Oh, it ain't focused, is it? Come on. Come on, mister. Wonder why that unfocused. It's on the AFB. It should lock the focus now. We just want to get that nice and smooth down. So we're reconstructing like a bit of a ball back here and then a flat spot on the side right here. And we've got our hole filled back in nicely. And I think that's pretty good. It's pretty good. We got our hole filled back in. It mostly matches the other side. We got a bit of a mold line right here that's fucking with me. Ooh, that's too much material I just removed. It's fine though. It looks fine. There we go. All right, let's see if this boy's ready now too. So we got this. That feels pretty good. Let's try it with our sanding bit thingamabob here. Still a little gushy, but not too bad. Let's try the coarser grit sander or file, whatever the fuck this thing is called. Man filling holes on a public stream, that is true. Filling holes and bitching about bums, Mr. Nate, if you can imagine. That is actually not ready. But I think that is flat enough, and we have reconstructed that cut enough that when this gets glued down, it won't be noticeable. Because it's going to live on the base, right? Like, you'll never see it. Okay, so we're almost done. Doing what we do. Oh, Mr. Nate. Mr. Nate. Check it out, my guy. We got the cicader. The cicader. The hornet. The flea. And the locust. These are going to get primed and done up white because these guys are going white as well. So they're going to get done up all together. And then I did go with the mountain bases to match your basing. But I do have a suggestion, Mr. Nate, that I wanted to run by you while you're here. I think we should do our mountain basing this style right here with the baking soda white paint mix. Do the brown basing and the stuff. I think it'll be super fun to do the snowy mountain stuff because the map we're playing on has the mountains. Bug Lance is simple. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, Mr. Nate's gonna run it's 3 commandos, right? 3 commandos being escorted by a Grand Titan. And I'm attacking them with a Bug Lance. And the goal is I only have to kill one of the commandos to win. And he's just got to get all 3 of them off the map. Frankie the Fish says, I don't mind the pot, but I hate when people drive around and smoke in the car. Yeah, that's high risk too. That's generating distractions, and it's also creating like impaired driving situations that are really hard to detect. It's pretty hard to like judge and police that, because like if you're a little stoned, that's fine, but like you could smoke a joint and have dulled enough reactions that you probably shouldn't fucking be driving. Then again, I'm a spoiled rotten city slicker, and why would I drive when I just take the dang old bus? You know what I mean? I guess because the bus is expensive. Cheaper than driving, though, for sure. We actually did the math recently. I often go over to Concord on the BART train, and we did the math that like even with a good 30 mile a gallon car, the gas costs would be so much higher than just taking the train. Ooh, this is pretty gnarly right there. Let's try and clean that up. Boom. Ow. There we go. Nice and sharp edge. Okay, we have another gnarly fill hole right here. Let's see if I can get it in focus. Right there, that we're not going to be able to do anything about. I could fill it with Tamiya. It's worth trying, I guess. Bus shares the same room. Don't do wreck drugs in a drive-in. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's funny enough. I'm not like anti-drug or anything. I guess the only drugs I'm really kind of anti. I think meth is a fucking problem. And I think that the opiates is a huge fucking problem. See it a lot. Both of those in SF really bad. Stuff like cocaine can be really problematic too, but like not as bad. Because I see a lot of like somewhat regulated and controlled cocaine use, like in the bars and stuff. Make no mistake, they're all doing blow in the bathroom there. I'm just tired of the guys sitting under my fucking window smoking meth. It's awful. It's fucking awful. All right. So I think we may be at the end of the line here. What I can do before we end is maybe glue these models together. Glue these boys back together. Get those done. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do a little research on these parts and see. Let's pull up Ragic. So this is the Mauler. So let's filter by text switch. Let's do Mauler and search. And we want to see Bombitos, which is that one right there. So it looks like Bombito's mech has the like, this end is the front. Yeah, okay, that makes sense to me. Oh, you know what? This does have some fucking gnarly scars on it. Now that I'm looking at this part up close. That is a fucking hell of a scar. Hell of a set of scars, actually. Alright. Lecherous booty lady. Let's go. Let's get some more glue out. Oh, I think my glue is maybe at the end here. Good timing, rougher than usual, but I did finish Dragon Lady. Not going to comment on the tail thing. Frankenfish says, I'm a mechanic, so I get to smell the Chiba funk when I do people's oil changes, and I don't care, but it's so off-putting. Like, what if I get pulled over road testing your car? Yeah. Yeah. It's, it's funny to me that weed has a bit of, there's a cultural push by the stoners to make it more acceptable. And I think that folks who use a lot of weed can easily forget how fucking impairing it is. I can't smoke anymore. I miss it from time to time, but it makes me like really weird and fucking introspective. So it's a little much for me. So my super thick glue here, my gel, is kind of not acting like a gel. And it's making it basically impossible to use our sticky lady here. So you guys can just enjoy that outrageous camel toe while we glue this shit together here. And I think that's where we'll call it. About 30 minutes early, but it's fine. We'll be back tomorrow with some painting. I don't know if I'm going to get it primed before stream. If we do end up priming on stream, we'll try to make it interesting and talk about how to control your airbrush and all that stuff. I will try to get them done, to get the airbrushing done before tomorrow. But no promises. And then Friday, we're probably going to do a like an earlier in the afternoon Discord hangout thing, because it is the Dicks in the Dark on Friday, and they're doing another episode of Mega Dungeon. So I'll be joining them over there at, I think it's 5 p.m. PST. Redeem Popcat. Booty, 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 butt, butt. Yeah, dude. No kidding. Okay, so here's our Mauler legs. They went together decently. They're a little off, actually. think there's a little bit of a problematic angle on that foot there. It needs to be sanded smooth. Right here. Like, I think there's a little bit of warpage on that part. Maybe the hobby knife is where it's at. Yeah, let's clean that. Ow. I'd have to look at the STLs to see if it's the STL itself or the print. Nightbot. Thanks, Nightbot. You know what? We could maybe dip our pelvis in this lady's juices. Yeah. I think that's enough glue there. Let's see if that's enough to stick this together. No, not really. Let's get our tube in that hole and squeeze out just a little bit more. There we go. There we go. A little bit of that gel action there. Pachow. That's ready. And then we'll do the same on the arms right here. That should be good. I think kind of a little bit of an open pose. Come on. Come on, glue. I need you to gel for me. Oh, yeah. I think it's supposed to be taking a step. Yeah, it is. It's just, the toes are lifted up a little higher than that, that front piece. All right, we're going to put this one arm down a little bit. And he's kind of an open, like the arms are a little tilted to the open. And we'll do drop and a drop and one in the waist. Boom, that should cure up nice. I'll get the catapult printing tonight. Let's take a peek at our Kintaro. See what the Kintaro is supposed to look like. Kintaro. Kintaro. Isn't that a character from Mortal Kombat or something? Where is Bombito's Kintaro? It is not on this list. Oh my goodness. This fucking website, dude. Is that it? I don't see it. Oswald's Eschebaum, Tabletop Gaming Fun, Syllogy. Bombito, Mortimer Bombito has not, his Kintaro is not listed. I do love to dip my whole pelvis in lady juices, the whole thing. Let's see if we can't find his Kintaro on here. Looking for it. I hope it jumps out at me as I get to it. 'Cause he's got a lot to scroll through here. And because he's got like weird fucking names for all of them, it's useless to try and search for what it's called. Alright, not on page 1. Let's check page 2. Let's see. There's the Mauler, Cicada, Dragon, Flea, Bushwhacker, Catapult, Urblin Mech, Cerberus. Is it an older design? It's gotta be, right? If it's this far down. I'm pretty sure these are in order of posting. I hope this wasn't like a... Oh, he's got a fucking shootist. I'm not seeing it yet. I am not seeing it yet. Still not seeing it. Page 4, here we go. Where's our fucking Kintaro? I am not seeing this fucking thing. I hope it wasn't like a fucking Patreon exclusive or something. Because if it... I may just have to guess which direction the damn pelvis sits. Because I ain't seen it on here. Does he post his stuff to some other location? Yeah, 5 pages. I don't see it. Kintarko 18. Kintarko 18. Cults 3D. Thank you. No. It's not coming up in... Not coming up on Google search. Let's try... Wow. 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 Can I not search his designs? Kintarko. That is not popping up for me at all. It's just searching for Kintaro instead of Kintarko. I guess I'll just fucking look for it in my own time and figure it out. Cause who the fuck knows which is supposed to be the front. Usually his have like the angled part on the butt. But if that's the case, then this is like a really bad design. Let's see. Let's just dry fit it and see how that looks. I did not see it on his page. It is not listed on Ragic either. Are they supposed to go this way? Are they supposed to go this way? Who the hell knows? That looks more correct, even though this would mean there's no armor on the dick plate. Wow, it can't be that. Is it really? Is it really like just open joints there? It looks like there's tow hooks on the front side. Yeah, see. So normally, that makes sense because there's no plate over those connections. But normally his other mechs have this like angled shape as the ass. I can't find the fucking thing. All right, let's do it. Let's just fucking do it. Not the Kuchtaro, no. You know, the original is pretty coochie, honestly. All right, let's get this leg inserted. A little bit of a surplus of glue there, so we're gonna run our paper towel edge through there real quick. Remember, if you're using your paper towel to remove glue, do it quickly so you don't glue the paper towel to the model. I think my Gorilla Glue is almost done. Let's get this set up where he's steppy. He's steppy nice. Okay, looks good. Let's run our glue cleanup through there. Very nice. And of course, all Bombito's connection points have magnets in mind. So you really want to fill that hole with a whole bunch of super glue. And that's where the gel stuff really comes in, because that'll cure up into a nice solid filling. Actually, it's still not enough glue. because that's just a cavity at this point. All right, we'll get that connected. And now we'll come in with our glue edge there. Glue edge cleaner. And we'll do the same thing on this other side. It needs a gigantic surplus of material. I'm talking like a pea. Like a whole ass pea of the material there. And we're gonna put that arm kind of down, I think. Yeah, it looks good to me. I've glued myself to the model. Excellent. And we're gonna do the same thing for this torso. A gigantic surplus of glue. There we go. That's a decent pose to me. Kintaro Oe. That guy sexually harasses women, you know. He also licks their toilet seats. Ew. Ew. Alright, so there's our Bombito mechs. These are ready for bases. I'm going to hit up the client before tomorrow, and we will find out. I guess I could actually go back and watch my footage to see if we used catalyst bases or if I printed them off. And then we'll start in tomorrow gluing these to bases. We'll get these boys glued to bases, and we'll be ready for priming and contrast paint. We may just do that on stream. So it'll be a good place to come talk shit if you're around. If not, there'll be plenty more content. We're really ramping up the streaming again. I've got a full schedule, and we should get to another video here soon. So without further ado, I've been some guy on the internet talking to you about how bums are bad, and this is a channel on YouTube's, and you guys are chatters, and Nathan's paper tubes are the best for farting into. Anyhow, that's all I can do tonight without like getting off in the weeds. I got to do a little research on the project. Just good to be back, you know. So thank you so much, and we'll catch you some other time. Goodbye. I'm gonna cook some hot dogs now. I got the hell yeah, brother. Thanks for the time. I'll try and catch tomorrow's stream. Never any pressure, Wicked Dragon. Thank you for stopping by. Really good to see familiar faces in the chat. I'm gonna put a plethora of streams out lately, so hopefully something will be around that's convenient for any of y'all's schedules. I appreciate the attention, and you guys help this channel grow and survive. Look forward for some new content, and we'll be putting shorts out every day. Anyhow, remember to be happy while you're painting, and I'll see you around.